tutorial happens to be the continuation of PAD402, and we're going to be talking about what it means by social security. That has been said, let's just get into it. Okay, so we have PAD402. We'll be talking about what it means by social security. Now, okay, social security is said to be a form of social policy. Okay, it's said to be a form of social policy. Are we together? A form of social policy that is concerned with what? The economic well-being of individuals. Okay? It's said to be social policy all right, concerned with, all right, the economic well-being of individuals. Then we have social security. Are we on the same page? Awesome. Now, according to what Withy said in 1995, Withy wrote that social security is concerned with essentials of economic well-being, speaking of food, clothing, housing, and medical care necessary, all right, are said to be necessary social services according to Withy, all right, or we can say the Withy 1959. Now, we have that as that. Just a moment. Okay, now let's take a step further. So I'm going to understand what it means by social security. Now let's talk about the functions of social, all right? Let's talk about the functions of social policy as well as social welfare. Now, when we say social policy, it is usually designed to address social problems of the society. Okay? Address the social problem of the society. Okay? We also have social policy is meant to redistribute societal resources. I know there's a lot of things with the distribution of resources in the society. It's a lot that goes down with it. All right. So the reason why we have the social security is also, or the social policy is also to help redistribute the societal resources to those who ordinarily will not get the resources. All right, if the resources were never in place. So you see why it's so important. See why social policy it's so, all right, it's so much, very, very important. Okay, so we have that as that. Now let's talk about the effects of social policy on social welfare administration. There are positive effects. The positive effect is that social policy help to reduce poverty, all right, and inequality in the economy. Okay, now there is a latent effect, all right, most important effect. It says social policy can raise new consciousness about societal problems that ordinarily would not be considered because of social policy. It will help raise awareness, and such a problem will be attended to thereafter. Okay, so we have factors that may shape the social policy and social welfare. What are the factors that shape these policies? So we have shaping factors. Let's take three. The economy, number one. The economy of a state, the social policy the state will run. All right. Inequalities. All right. The state of inequality. How well or how unfortunate, how well in the sense that to what extent is there inequalities in this society? All right. And the constitution of that state will also determine it. The constitution slash law of the state will also is also a determinant. Okay, so we have that. So now, when we say social policy that we have been talking about, we need to understand that there are stages. Okay, there are stages to it. Just a moment. There are stages to formulating social policy. Now, what are these stages? We have the very first stage is problem ID, which is identification. Okay, problem ID, problem identification. This is the first stage in any public policy planning. The policy planner must first define what the problem is, all right? Then how to tackle it to the next. When there's a problem, when the problem is identified as one, then the solution is already at hand. So we also have identification of options. The process of, right, doing that process where this problem is being defined. Policy makers, all right, must also consider, all right, what are the options, all right? We have ID options. What are the viable options to approaching this problem? So we have the material balancing. This is the process that involves finance. There's nothing you want to do. You need finance. And without it, basically nothing can be done actually. So finance is very important. And the material balancing is where we talk about the cost of making the implementation of the policy. And we have policy discourse or dialogue. So the finance are made available, options and identification done. So it has to be reviewed. Before government policies are made, it is expected that such policies will be tabled. Just like we have the first, second reading when it comes to the making of law. Then having done that, then the headway, then we have policy formulation. All right. This is when this is the process of deciding policy plan the government will now adopt. We have the legitimation here, the sixth stage. The legitimation here, policy legitimation usually starts with the posting of social policies that governments or private organizations have formulated. Now the policy is being posted. All right. So we have that as that basically. So now let's continue. Now we have the history of social welfare administration in Nigeria. Let's take a look at that very quickly. The history. All right, social welfare administration in Nigeria. Please, as you join the stream, I've said this time without number. You need to mark the attendance. How do you do that? First, if you have not subscribed to the channel, you do so. Smash the like button. Use the comment section to say hello, hi, good evening, streaming from this, streaming from there, just to let us acknowledge your presence. All right. So we have okay the history of social welfare in Nigeria. All right, is dated back to the colonial era. Okay, dated back to the colonial era. Now, we all understand that colonialism, all right, in Nigeria came alongside with a lot of things. Okay, it has good side of it and also has negative side of it. All right, but one thing we need to understand, according to where we are coming from, we are looking at the social welfare part of this colonialism. All right, as colonialism accompanying social welfare. All right, we need to understand that. All right, during the process of colonialism, a lot of things happened here and there, and Lagos, all eyes was on Lagos, as you know, a lot of persons from other neighboring states migrated to Lagos for a white collar job, and unfortunately, getting there, not every of the expectations were met. A lot of people, children, young ones, out there on the street. Okay, and this amounted to certain policies whereby the government has to create certain schemes and policies, accommodate certain policies to reduce the level of poverty, all right, and the level of kids out there on the streets with low income parents to, all right, give them a meaning and life, a good life. And we have the 1952 Boys Industrial Home in Yaba was introduced. Boys Industrial Home Yaba, all right, 1952. Like I usually say, content we do on this stream, on this channel, is only for educational purpose and not for the why. All right, all right, inform. Okay, so we have that as that. Now, um, it says here that Oguleye in 2007 noted that the idea, all right, the idea of proposing a refugee for juvenile delinquents, all right, in 1922, when the Christian organization approached the government, all right, 1972, 1924, the Christian organization approached, all right, the government with the proposal of setting up a refuge for juvenile delinquents. Like I said earlier, there are a lot of kids out there on the street and being exposed isn't really good. So the Christian organization approached the government to establish a refuge for them. And Governor Clifford readily supported the proposal. Okay, so another thing happened thereafter whereby in 1944, in May 1944, registered of colonial office, we reflected about 41 boys and 124 girls assisted and helped. Okay, and the Lagos state government now has what we call social policy trusted in the hand of. All right, from this time and moving forward, government in Nigeria has seen the need, all right, for social policies, and the responsibility most time is usually between the Ministry of Youth or Women, Social or Development, and it has been that, and the accommodation has been made. So we're going to call it a wrap here for today, and we're going to take it up from the emergence of Nigerian social security system in the next class. So thank you very much, everyone. I believe you're able to spend something nice class to keep a little of this in appropriate context. Do have a wonderful day.